What's up guys, Chirs Jordan here and welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to be going over how to simplify the game of basketball, specifically focusing on the scoring end with 3 simple tips. Now I know a lot of people have been asking me why I haven't been making videos, why I deleted all my social media. I'm probably going to do that in another video, but in this video I'm just going to focus on this. And if you haven't click the link in the description below, you can get a free workout by clicking the link in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into it. So a lot of people struggle when it comes to the game of basketball, specifically on the scoring end. Maybe they do too much, or they can't seem to create, space from their defender. Whatever it is, whatever you struggle with, I'm going to give you 3 simple tips on how to make basketball really simple, and how to score basically at will. And the thing is, you could do this with the ball or without the ball. So without further ado, let's get into the first tip, because I actually wrote this down right here to make sure I remember everything. Okay, so the first one is called the ISO size up, or playing the guessing game. I literally coined this phrase, the guessing game. So the best example of someone who does this is James Harden. Now James Harden built his entire game off of ISO and doing 1 size up and having 2 to 3 counters out of it. So when I mean playing a guessing game, I mean playing with the ball, and when you have the ball in your hand, you determine what your defender does. Now he can play you to one side, or he could give you a read, but at the end of the day, you determine what he does. So for example, James Harden, the easy example, he's probably the best ISO scorer of all time. James Harden has the dribble, between cross size up. He does this to get his defender moving backwards, and at that point, his defender's already off balance. Now at this point, after he has him off balance, the defender is just playing a guessing game. He doesn't know if he's gonna drive, he don't know if he's gonna play the step back, do the step back, he doesn't know if he's gonna cross over. So this is what you want to do when you're developing your ISO game. Create a size up that's unique to you, or you can literally copy James Harden, he's there for a reason, and literally make your defender play the guessing game. So for example, if you're doing your size up, you can literally size them up, and if you feel like you got an angle on your defender and your dominant hand, let's say you're right-handed like me, if you feel like you got an angle on your defender, you can literally drive and attack the goal. Most likely, once you have your defender walking back, they're not going to be able to really stop you, because they're obviously you know what you're going to do, they don't know what you're going to do, so they're at the disadvantage, and they're playing the guessing game. They don't know what you're going to do after that. So first option, you can have the drive. The second option is, let's say you're sizing them up and you're about to drive, and you see your defender cut you off. So once they cut you off, they've chosen their answer. They're going to cut you off. They don't want you to drive that angle. So for example, they don't want you to drive right. That's when you bring in the counter, which is a crossover or a drop through to go the other way. So now you've already shifted your defender by going like you're about to drive. They shift over, you counter out of it. So now you have 1 counter out of it. So then after that, now they're playing a guessing game. They don't know what you're gonna do, and it's all determined. You determine what they do. So then let's say, okay, you drove on them twice, and they want to stop you from driving. Now if they're playing off and you're sizing them up, now you have an open jump shot, you have a step back, side step, whichever works for you. So that's what I mean by playing a guessing game, having a size up. And a lot of coaches and trainers aren't going to like this. And for me personally, I believe I don't have a problem with over dribbling, as long as you're actually trying to create a shot or create a passing angle, whatever you're doing, as long as you're being aggressive and not over dribbling for the sake of over dribbling. And James Harden's the best player to describe that. He quote unquote over dribbles, but it's all with the purpose and intent behind it. It's not just over dribbling, just over dribbling. Be over dribbling, for example. Another example of that is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, he does a lot of dribble moves and everything, but he's doing that based off of, he's reacting off his defender and how they're playing him. He's not over dribbling and doing counter moves just to do counter moves. So that's the first option, playing the guessing game or the ISO size up you need to have 2 to 3 counters off of it. And you need to have counters based off of how the defender plays you. So that's number 1. Number 2 is more fundamental, simple, and allows you to read your defenders and slow the game down at the same time. And this is what I call the freeze game. So the freeze game is what the best NBA players or NBA scorers do. So you have Kevin Durant, he does this all the time. Steve Nash. In fact, I was watching Steve Nash the other day. You have Jamal Crawford. You have Luka Doncic. And the freeze game is basically using a hang dribble or a hang hesitation or a skip into a drop in which you hang the ball, you fall into a drop set of footwork. If you don't know what a drop set of footwork is, look at my channel for drop set of footwork, or just type in drop footwork on YouTube, or just type in hang hesitation if you just want to see exactly what I'm talking about. And basically, once you hang the ball, you're doing a hang hesitation, you're freezing it to get your defender to react. And this is another way of playing the guessing game, but it's more simple and straight to the point. So for example, let's say I do a between the legs hang dribble, and my defender's just playing straight up, but I have the angle. For example, my foot's outside of theirs, or they're not wide enough, or I'm equally as wide and I feel like I have an angle. I'm going to be able to drive past them because they've already frozen. They've already, they're frozen. They've already frozen on a hang dribble. So that can be your number 1 option. Number 2, same thing, simplified basketball. If you hang the ball and they jump to obviously the ball side hand, crossover, go to a drop through. You can pull up the mid range or go to the goal still. Simple. If you do a hang dribble and they step back or they sag or they just play off of you, now you have your shot. The key is to simplify basketball, not make it as hard as it seems. It's not. Basketball is a simple game. It's all footwork and angles for the most part and shooting, basically. So a good example of people to watch, I've actually did a video on both of these players, is Kevin Durant and Steve Nash. You can literally type in Steve Nash hesitation dribble, and you'll see he beats defenders 24/7 doing the same move. And because it's hard to stop, you're literally freezing them because the defender doesn't know what to do. So unlike the first tip, which is the guessing game or the isosizer where you're dribbling, and they're playing the guessing game that way, you got to move him back and forth. This one is just, it doesn't matter what happens, because as soon as you hang the ball and freeze them, they're at your mercy, basically. It's unguardable, literally. Kevin Durant, he does this all the time. Hezzy pull up, hang dribble, hezzy pull up, every time. So then, you have the third option. This video wasn't supposed to be this long, by the way. You have the third option. And the third option is without the ball. So this is called, let me see what I named it, the off-ball game. So the only thing you need to be good at when doing this set of like this third option is you have to be I hate doing that. The third option, you have to have great shooting. You have to be a great shooter or at least a good shooter, because a lot of the shots you're gonna get is gonna be open threes or open mid ranges or whatever. Now, the best examples of this is Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller, Kyle Korver, and there's so many other great shooters in the game. Damian Lillard, they use off-ball movement to get open and get open shots. Literally, it's so simple to do. Literally, I don't know how, it's easy. It's probably the easiest out of the other two, out of all three, really. All you do is continue to move off the ball over and over and over. Have your teammates set screens for you. You set screens for your teammates. Pop open. You set screens for the player with the ball. Pop open to the corner. Cut to the goal. And what a lot of people don't understand is playing off the ball is actually the same as having the ball. So a lot of people don't understand this. For example, if I'm a player on offense, right? And let's say I'm on the right wing. If I fake like I'm going baseline, right? And my defender shifts that way to try to cut me off, and I cut back inside, and I get the ball, I receive the pass and make a layup, that's the same thing as a crossover. You just don't have the ball. The same exact thing. If I fake this way and you go with me, and then I go through you and cut back the other way and get a pass and lay it up, it's the same thing as a crossover. The same thing. If I, for example, let's say I fake a cut and then pop back out. So if I fake a cut, I'm running hard to the goal, the defender doesn't want me to get there, and then I pop back out for an open three. That's the same thing as basically doing a stop move, speed stop, or a punch drag without the ball. Simple. It's literally the simplest way to score in basketball. And the thing is, it makes you even harder to guard. It makes you harder to guard than have the ball, because now you don't need the ball. Now you can score on the ball or off the ball. So, my opinion on, out of all these three, my favorite is obviously the hang hesitation, because my favorite player is Kevin Durant. But I recommend you add all three of these into your game, because if you know how to hang the ball and freeze players, and then you know how to size up when you need to size up to play the guessing game, so you got the freeze game, the guessing game, then you know how to move off the ball to get open shots and open baskets on backdoor cuts and everything, you're going to be deadly offensively speaking. So it's pretty simple, straight to the point, but it's so effective. But that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. I am going to be doing a video on why I deleted all my social media very, very soon. Right now, I'm just getting back into the habit of recording content over and over again. But without further ado, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want a free workout, click the link in the description below. I have a free workout that you guys can look at that's going to help you, be able to dominate defenders, and is actually going to show you something similar to the hang hesitation, the set of footwork that allows you to become unguardable on the court. But that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time.